Every day, millions of people spend money not to improve their lives, but to prove their lives look better than others. This constant race for status is draining bank accounts worldwide, yet most don't realize they're running on a treadmill they can't escape. Economists call this the hedonic treadmill. Buy a new phone, and within weeks, it feels ordinary. The satisfaction fades, but the urge to upgrade stays. Neuroscience explains why. Each purchase triggers a quick dopamine spike in the brain's reward system, but the brain quickly adapts, leaving us craving more. Take cars, for example. A luxury car might impress for a moment, but research shows happiness doesn't last beyond the first weeks of ownership. Meanwhile, the cost keeps rising. Loans, maintenance, insurance, status purchases drain future wealth for a short burst of approval. Psychologists call this the Diderot effect. One status item forces another. Buy a luxury watch. Now your old shoes feel out of place. Upgrade one thing, and soon everything must match. And here's the trap. The higher your income, the stronger the pressure to spend on signals. Studies show that when neighbors upgrade, debt levels rise across the street. This keeping up with the Joneses cycle pushes families to spend beyond their means. Credit fills the gap, leaving wealth out of reach. Here's the truth. Real wealth is almost invisible. Research on millionaires shows they're more likely to live modestly, save aggressively, and invest consistently, rather than showcase luxury. Social media magnifies this cycle. Every scroll shows curated luxury, vacations, designer clothes, expensive gadgets, making ordinary life feel inadequate. Neuroscience studies confirm comparing ourselves online activates the same brain regions tied to pain and loss. That comparison triggers a powerful drive to close the gap, not with savings or investments, but with visible spending. Easy credit fuels the trap. Research shows when people gain access to more credit, their spending on conspicuous goods rises fastest, and that means more debt. In fact, rising inequality often predicts higher household debt, as families stretch to match wealthier peers. Yet financial research on millionaires shows the opposite behavior. They buy fewer luxury items and focus instead on savings and investing. This difference explains why many high earners stay broke, while many modest earners build wealth. Status spending destroys compounding. The lesson here is, income doesn't equal wealth. What matters is how much of your income you keep and grow, not how much you display. In fact, surveys show many people with luxury lifestyles have little or no financial security. The appearance of wealth hides the absence of it. Meanwhile, those who avoid the status race often achieve financial independence sooner, because they redirect every spare dollar into assets, not appearances. Think of it this way. Every dollar spent for status is a dollar stolen from your future freedom. Freedom doesn't come from flashy purchases. It comes from assets, investments that work while you sleep. Neuroscience shows our brains are wired for short-term rewards. That's why the swipe of a card feels more satisfying than watching money grow slowly. But here's the shift. Training your brain to find reward in progress, not purchases, rewires the system for wealth. One simple strategy is automation. When money moves to savings and investments before you see it, temptation loses its power. Real millionaires use this trick. They remove choice from the equation, making saving the default and spending the exception. Another shift is changing your reference group. Surround yourself with people who value building, not flaunting. Studies show our financial habits mirror those around us. When peers save and invest, we're far more likely to do the same. Contrast with chasing status. It leaves you competing endlessly, always behind someone richer, never satisfied. The truth? Wealth is not about outrunning others. It's about designing a life where money serves you, not the crowd. Take two co-workers. Both earn the same salary. One buys luxury clothes, the other invests. After 5 years, their lives look very different. The spender has closets full of clothes, but mounting credit bills. The investor has a growing portfolio and peace of mind. Economists confirm, households that resist conspicuous consumption save more, even at modest incomes. Meanwhile, high earners who chase status often end up with less net worth than low earners who live quietly. This isn't theory, it's backed by decades of research on millionaires. Most don't flaunt wealth, they quietly compound it. Here's why. Money spent on signals is gone forever. Money invested earns returns, which then earn more returns, compounding silently in the background. Compounding is slow at first, but unstoppable over decades. This is why quiet wealth builders eventually outpace loud spenders. Another danger of status chasing is lifestyle inflation. Each raise becomes an excuse to spend more, leaving savings unchanged. Compare that to someone who locks lifestyle and lets income increases flow into assets. Their financial independence comes years earlier. This is the core lesson. Chasing status is endless consumption. Building wealth is choosing freedom. Our brains are wired to seek quick rewards, but habits can rewire that wiring. One method is the 30-day rule. Delay any big purchase for a month. Most urges vanish with time. Another is to track visible progress. When you see your savings and investments grow, the brain gets the same reward hit without the debt. Neuroscience calls this reward substitution. You replace harmful triggers with healthy ones. Automation helps too. Pre-commit your future self by setting automatic transfers to savings the day your paycheck arrives. This removes willpower from the equation. The money grows by default without a daily decision. Environment matters just as much. Studies show our spending rises when we're exposed to peers flaunting wealth. And how to change this? Shift your circle. Spend time with people who value growth, not appearances. Identity is powerful. Start telling yourself, I'm a builder, not a spender. Your brain seeks evidence to confirm that story. As identity shifts, so do habits. Status loses its grip, and freedom takes its place. Here's the paradox. The more you chase status, the less wealthy you become. But the more you ignore status and focus on building assets, the freer and richer you become. True wealth isn't measured in likes, logos, or luxury. It's measured in options, time, and peace of mind. Imagine the stress of bills replaced with the calm of financial independence. That's the payoff of escaping the status trap. And it doesn't take extreme income. It takes consistent choices, living below your means, saving, and investing. History's greatest investors agree. Wealth is built quietly, patiently, and without show. So next time you're tempted by a status buy, ask, does this purchase bring me freedom? Or just a fleeting signal? Most people spend to look rich. The few who build quietly become rich. The choice is yours. Chase status or chase freedom. Because in the end, wealth isn't about being seen. It's about being free.